NXT is fun. NXT was phenomenal. This was a very good, fun show. I thoroughly enjoyed this show. They gave us a very, very strong show leading us into Homecoming next week, which should be a fun time. And then we've got Heat Wave in 2 weeks after that, after Homecoming. So this was a really good show, and I expect for Homecoming to be very good as well. So this was a really good show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. There was one flaw that I didn't like about the show, but other than that, the show was fine. Shawn Michaels did very, very well. He hit it out of the park. So let's get into NXT from September the 9th, 2025. NXT still continues to be the best show of the week. So we kicked the show off with the first match of the night. It was Josh Briggs defeating Javon Evans. So Javon Evans, before the match even got underway, he caught out Josh Briggs. They had a brawl, and then from there, it turned into a match. Josh Briggs wins and defeats Javon Evans via a punch. He used his chain that he had around his neck, and that's how he won. Didn't like it. I don't understand why Shawn Michaels continues to push Josh Briggs. I really don't. It's a dumb decision. But it is what it is. Nothing can be done about it. Where does Javon Evans go from here? He is basically directionless, and that's not a good thing. It's not. I feel that Javon Evans should have won this match. Javon Evans is over. In my opinion, they should have pulled the trigger on Javon Evans, and they should have him. They should have had him be the one to dethrone Obafemi, but it's going to go to Ricky Starks, which is fine. I don't know, but Javon right now, to me, it seems like he's in limbo. It's like they want to push him, but they kind of don't want to at the same time, if you catch my drift. Like, I feel like they want to push him and they want to put the rocket to him, but for whatever reason, they're just not ready yet. For whatever reason, I don't know, man. I really don't know. Moving on from that. So, Obafemi and Ricky Saints start arguing in Ava's office. Ricky blames Oba for what happened last week during last week's main event. Oba calls Ricky a hothead. Ricky says that they don't have to wait till No Mercy. They can fight right now. So Ava, she's not having none of that. Ava knows that Ricky and Oba have a lot they need to get off their chest. So next week at Homecoming, they get to air off all of their grievances on the Grayson Waller effect. So Oba, he's not ready to hear Grayson Waller's big mouth. So Trick Williams shows up. He walks into the office. He asks Ava if they're still good for tonight's plan with DIY. Ava says yes. Ricky wants to know what the hell's going on. Trick says it's championship business. Something that Ricky wouldn't know about. And Oba, my bad. Trick tells Oba that they have unfinished business. So I like this. I feel like they might circle back down to, circle around to Trick and Oba again at some point, maybe. I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see. Because I don't see, we know that Trick is not going to be champion past Bound for Glory. We know it's over for him at Bound for Glory because he's going to lose to Mike Santana. We don't know if Oba is going to lose to Ricky Saints or not. I'm hoping he does because I'm a fan of Oba. But maybe they can still have their feud without championship gold being involved, whether it's the NXT championship or the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. I think that's what they might do. They might end up doing. We'll have to wait and see. Moving on. So DIY, they come out, they get a good reaction. They put themselves over in how they are killing it on SmackDown and everything else. So then Trick shows up. He says that they got the best of him last week. He said the one thing that they forgot to say is when all that went down is because the two of them are jealous. They're jealous because your NXT crew can't hang with his NXT crew. So they continue to go back and forth for a brief moment. Then Carmelo Hayes, who shows up, got a mega reaction, a great reaction. And so him and Trick, they had some words. So basically, Carmelo put over DIY. So Carmelo says that he sees that Trick is a world champion, and he congratulates him on that. He says, but the only thing that you're doing is squatting in our house, and he can remind him that rent is due. So Trick says that he gets it, which is great. That was a good line there by Melo. So Carmelo says that he's not done yet. He's been gone for a year and a half. He's going to say what he has to say. You're not going to run over him. He said the next time you're sitting in the ring with greats from NXT like Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, and himself, you take off your high heels at the door. His words, not mine, which was kind of weird. You put them right there. You sit down, and you don't touch nothing, and you be quiet while OGs are talking. That's great. So, Trick says that he knows that we got history. We've been through a lot, especially how everything's been going since Carmelo left. Truth is, he's been talking trash about him, and he's right. He said some things about Carmelo, even last week. That wasn't right. But don't get it twisted. I'll squat where I want to squat. I wear my heels where I want to wear my heels. This is still his house. So, basically, then Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa then proceed to challenge Trick and Melo to a tag match next week. Carmelo tells the guys that, to shut the hell up. This is between him and his bro. And then he says that, the two of them, they've got a bunch of history together. They're one of the biggest backstabs in NXT history. So a really good promo there. DIY is fine in small doses. I am a fan of Tommaso Ciampa. Johnny Gargano, I don't give a fuck about. Just don't. I mean, he's okay at times, but nah. So, this was okay. Moving on. So, Laney Reed defeated Fabi Apache. So, she wins via a running knee strike, which basically everyone uses now. It's crazy. Jessie Jane uses it. Laney Reed uses it. Julia uses it, basically. It's crazy. You got 3 women right there on the main roster in NXT that use the same move. It's insane. It's fucking insane. But it is what it is. Natalya got involved. So Natalya's going to be taking on Fabi Apache at Worlds Collide, which should be cool. So I do like that. Good stuff there. I think this is going to be the finals. It's going to be Laney Reed and Candice LeRae. So I'm guessing probably Laney Reed's going to win that. Why would Candice LeRae win? It wouldn't make any sense. But who knows? I mean, you never know. Because, I mean, it wouldn't matter who wins. So Rika's going to retain anyway. I mean, the match is just going to be 5 minutes. Like, what can you do in 5 minutes? You know what I'm saying? Because championship matches are 5 minutes, which is, to me, that's cool. That's fun. I wish the championship matches were at least 10 minutes. At least 10. They wouldn't have to go the full 10 minutes, but if they can go close to 10, that'd be fine for me. But that's just me speaking out loud. Just thinking out loud. Moving on. So, Zarya, she tells Sol Ruka that she needs his victory tonight. She needs to be at NXT Homecoming, and she needs to become a champion. So, basically, Hank and Tank show up. They all embrace and everything else and everything. Who cares? So, it is what it is. Moving on. So, Mariah May, she cuts a promo. She has a really good vignette. She says, breaking news that the glamour's not done with Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace made a big mistake. This is a tragedy, Jordynne. she says that I'm the glamour, the starlet on the marquee. The champion, the champagne sucked Cinderella of WWE. You ruined everything. It was never meant to be like this. I wanted something to be different. I wanted to be clean, perfect, untouchable. And the truth is, glamour was never meant to be clean. The glamour is cruel and merciless. The glamour can bleed and still be the star of the show. Last week, you reminded me that the glamour and hell are never meant to be separate. You may feel something buried deep beneath the pearls that held the pretty little promises I made for myself. I thought those days were done, but I guess I just got better accessorizing. You didn't humble me. You didn't break me. You awakened me. Now the glamour has teeth. She's hungry. I'm going to show you why Mariah May can even make the devil blush. See you in hell, JG. So I do like that. That's really cool there. Good shit there. Excellent stuff. This needs to have some spice to it. We could even do a last woman standing match, an I Quit match, a steel cage. We need something for this because the way Mariah May is talking here, it seems really damn violent. That's just what it seems like to me. It seems like this bitch is crazy. So, she's a little bit off her meds, maybe. I don't know. I'm not putting it out there at all. I'm just joking. But she does seem to be a little bit unhinged. But I do like this, though. This kind of made this a little bit more interesting. I wasn't really that invested as I am kind of in it now, especially with this promo. So I do like this. So hopefully at No Mercy, we can have a really decent match between the two. Like I said before, a stipulation. It doesn't matter what it would be. Just a good stipulation. If I was booking it and I had the pin, I would probably do a first blood match. I wouldn't mind because she's speaking about blood and stuff. So that would be cool to have a first blood match. I think that would be really cool. It's probably never been done before, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know, but that's what I would do, honestly. Either that or like a last woman standing match or an I Quit match, something. I don't know. Moving on. Dark State, they defeat Hank and Tank. They retain the NXT Tag Team Championships. Joe Hendry came out in the middle of the match, basically like he did last week. And Joe Hendry was trying to get involved in the match. And the referee tried to get Hendry out the ring. And then one of the guys from Dark State rolled up Hank and Tank for the 1, 2, 3. So who cares? It's fine, I guess. Again, I'm pretty sure that Joe Hendry probably will be with WWE sometime next year. We don't know when his contract is up with TNA. I would assume maybe early next year. I'm saying probably between maybe January to April of next year. So we don't know. But I'm hoping that NXT does secure the services of Joe Hendry sometime next year. And that would be cool to have him on maybe the NXT after WrestleMania 42. I think that would be great. So good stuff. So this is fine, I guess. NXT has no tag division. They have no depth in their tag division. Moving on. So we then get a video by NXT Anonymous. So it basically showed Ethan Page giving Miles Bourne some advice. Lexis King then tells Charlie Dempsey that he knows that Miles Bourne isn't a good listener and he doesn't take directions well. Charlie says that Miles doesn't have the privilege of getting his advice anymore. Lexis King says that Miles Bourne has to be embarrassed losing a blindfold match. Lexus King wouldn't show his face in NXT again. That happened to him. So Miles Bourne shows up in the locker room. He's holding a steel chair. Miles then turns off the lights, and then he attacks Lexus King with a steel chair. And then Miles Bourne says that Lexus King and him have unfinished business. So that's kind of funny there. I was like, what the hell? Why is he cutting off the lights? What the hell? What kind of shit is this? But it was kind of hilarious. I chuckled a little bit when I was watching that. That was kind of funny. I did like that. That was kind of funny. So maybe that match could be added to Homecoming, maybe, or if not, at No Mercy, but it'll probably be added to Homecoming, I think. Moving on. Tavion Heights, he defeats Ethan Page. He wins the flag match. He retrieves the flag. Match went about maybe 8 minutes or whatever. So my bad. Tavion Heights did a avalanche belly to belly suplex. Then he, retrieved the flag, the American flag. He got a big pop for doing that. And then Tavion Heights puts the Canadian flag over the top of Ethan Page. Then Tyler Breeze, who shows up, got a really good reaction. He takes a selfie right next to Ethan Page, and then it's going to be Ethan Page versus Tyler Breeze next week at Homecoming. Good, cool. I like this. Tyler Breeze is great. I've been a fan of him for years. He looks different. Well, he doesn't look different. He slimmed down a little bit, though. But this should be a fun match. Moving on, then we get the second installment of the Lola Vice arc that they're doing. We get that. So this time it focused on how she got into karate and MMA. She went to her dad's dojo. They embraced and everything else. That was cool there. We got to see some of the students there. She said they all had college degrees and everything. Everyone's a black belt and all that jazz. She just talked more about herself and everything. So really, really good stuff here. I do think that Lola Vice is going to be the one to dethrone JC Jane. So there's that. Speaking of JC Jane, she's looking forward to embarrassing Lola Vice in front of her family at NXT No Mercy. And then let's lead us into the main event of the evening, which was a triple threat elimination match, which was won by the Culling, that being Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dame, because Sol Ruka and Daria got defeated. So there was a miscommunication in the middle of the match. Sol Ruka accidentally hit a snow snatcher on to Zarya and someone else, and Jasmine Nix pinned Zarya. And so Sol Ruka was distraught about this and everything, so I do like that. So I love how they're doing the miscommunication there. Maybe this does set up for the Zarya heel turn. I think that's a clue that we got, which is fucking awesome. So post-match, JC Jane is irate. She's pissed off. She says that she's tired. She says that there's no way that Fatal Influence isn't going to be at NXT Homecoming. JC Jane, she's tired of carrying the faction on her back, and the lack of respect she gets. It's absolutely pathetic. Unlike every woman in WWE, JC Jane doesn't need their applause or respect. JC Jane only needed herself. She calls herself the greatest NXT Women's Champion of all time. So Stephanie Vacker shows up, gets a really good reaction. Stephanie will give JC Jane credit for beating her for the championship. However, she was North American champion and NXT Women's Champion at the same time. And she did it with nobody's help. And Stephanie says she's going to become a champion at WrestlePalooza. JC Jane reminds Stephanie about the numbers game. So, Tiffany Stratton shows up, gets a really good reaction. Tiffany says that she's the longest reigning champion in the company. Tiffany disagrees with the notion that JC Jane is the greatest women's champion of all time. So, JC Jane then pokes fun at Stephanie and Tiffany for being super seniors. Tiffany Stratton says she's not sure how Rhea Ripley's going to take being called a super senior. Then Rhea Ripley shows up, and they take out Fatal Influence, and the super seniors, they stand tall. So I do like that. So that's cool there. So it's going to be a 6-woman tag next week. Fatal Influence versus Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Vacker, and Tiffany Stratton. Everyone got major reactions. So this was great. This was really, really good. Thoroughly enjoyed it. NXT is great. I'm super excited for Homecoming. I really am. I think this is going to be a really good show on television. I think the ratings should do well too. We've got 2 championship matches. We've got Grayson Waller and we got the Grayson Waller effect with Femi and Ricky Saints. That's gonna be cool there. I don't know what the main event's gonna be. It could be DIY and Trick and Mello. That's probably what the main event's gonna be. If we're being honest, I would imagine probably the 6-woman tag is going to start the show. Maybe, I don't know. The Grayson Waller effect, you could probably do that in the middle of the show. If we're being honest, I wouldn't end the show like that. That's just me. But I'm very excited for Homecoming. This episode of NXT was great. It was fucking awesome. So Shawn Michaels hit it out of the park. Really good stuff. But what did you guys think of NXT? And I hope you guys are excited for Homecoming. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.